Hey everyone, it's Dusty Go-Go. Welcome back to my headcanon. Today we're going to be talking about the infamous Chinese Riddler. They are currently hinting at the specific Pokemon that will get new forms in Pokemon Legends Arceus. The information here seems to line up with what Central leaks have been leaking. We are going to dissect the credibility of this information, the specific Pokemon that are listed, as well as all of the Pokemon that we would like to see get Hisuian forms in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Hey, do me a favor. If you found this video, consider subscribing. It looks like a lot of you are not subscribed. This is the #1 place for Pokemon rumors, speculation, and celebration. Okay, the sun is setting very rapidly. We have to get right into this. First thing that we're looking at today is this post by the Chinese Riddler. There's 3 images down here. We've got some sort of anime girl on a hulking, strong male body. We've got a woman with purple hair, kind of ghostly, and she's wearing a kimono. And then we've got the moon and a moth. The Chinese Riddler has been present in Pokemon leak seasons dating back to before Generation 7. It seems like they're doing it again for Pokemon Legends Arceus. And this is gonna feel very familiar because we've all been discussing the Centro Leaks emoji post. It looks like whatever Centro was posting, their information came from the Chinese Riddler. I've got a lot of thoughts about all of this. I'm sure you do as well. Feel free to leave any of your thoughts in the comments. What we had speculated was that these emojis were referring to various different Pokemon that could get Hisuian forms. I don't think we actually guessed that these could be in reference to the Hisuian starters. For a very long time now, people have been speculating that the Hisuian starters are gonna get new Hisuian forms. It's this second post right here that has me believing that these emojis and photoshopped images is referring to the Hisui starters. I think that they're referring to Rowlet, Oshawott, and Cyndaquil because they're listed right here on this secondary post, but it doesn't stop there. But then we also have Electrode, Voltorb, and Piplup. Piplup is kind of an oddball here. You'd think if that was listed that we would also see Chimchar and Turtwig, but I bring this up. But what's interesting is that now this can be tied together with the other Centro Leaks post about Voltorb and Electrode possibly getting a new Hisuian form. The infamous Chinese leaker is credible. To me, what they post is truth. They've given me no reason to doubt any information that they give out. Centro Leaks is a little bit different in this case, but if Centro Leaks is giving information that aligns with the Chinese leaker, and Centro Leaks is giving a little bit more context for what we're looking at, then I think it's safe to say that Centro Leaks information is really leaning towards being accurate. So this is honestly great. So we got these 3 starter Pokemon. We've seen countless variations of what their new final forms could look like. It looks like each of those starters are going to evolve to resemble one of these emoji forms or one of these photoshopped images. I mean, it's a hint. It's a hint at what is to come. If we can break it down in this context, if we had to speculate on this information, I would say that the strong baby is definitely going to be a fighting type for one of these Pokemon. If I had to guess, I would say Oshawott. Oshawott kind of resembles, it has more human-like features with a round head, arms, legs. It's gonna be a water fighting type Pokemon. I don't exactly know what the theme or the inspiration is gonna be behind the design, but I do think it's safe to assume that Oshawott would fit this one the best. Now we're left with the Ghost Kimono and the Bug Moon. I think it's safe to say that Decidueye would not be getting the Ghost treatment considering it's already a Ghost type. So let's give Typhlosion the Ghost type, and I could see it. I mean, the back of its body is already dark. It has this it looks like it's almost wearing like a gown. I could see it having a more dynamic, a more Generation 8, for lack of better words, like an updated design to have a kimono pattern. And then it also gets the Ghost type. So we have a Fire Ghost type Typhlosion. There is some art that depicts a fire and Ghost type Typhlosion that I think it looks super cool. I'll try to put this up here so you can take a look at this. And that would leave Decidueye with Moth and the Moon. So what could we deem from this? The Moon is typically the Moon is typically associated with the Fairy type. So I think it's safe to say that Decidueye in this case would be Grass Fairy type. Fairy types are associated with the Moon, but also with natural energy. I'm totally picturing, we actually discussed this, a Fairy type Decidueye that had cherry blossom, pink feathers. I think it could look very cool, and that would fit the Fairy type. These Pokemon would be super cool. It feels so right that this is finally, okay, none of this is confirmed. I want to be very clear. Nothing is confirmed. I just have my own personal hunch is that this will happen. And to see Centro and some other sources talking about this, and then seeing the Chinese leaker also talk about this, that feels very good. It feels right. I want to jump over to this other post that surfaced Tuesday afternoon. I haven't seen anyone else cover this. This surfaced the same day that Centro leaks mentioned the Voltorb, and there is a correlation. You'll see right here that there's a Voltorb and it's being linked to a cannonball. You'll see the rest of the photo. There's a Magnemite with angel wings. That looks like angel wings or clouds. I don't really know what that could be. And then we have, this one's cool, an Alakazam being linked to a pair of katanas. Yeah, Alakazam gives up its spoons for katanas. Very cool stuff. And then we have the Lycanroc family, all three of them being linked to this skull of what looks to be a dog or a bear. I'm curious what all of this could mean. I mean, some of it seems to be kind of one-to-one and very, very clear-cut hints. Voltorb being linked to the cannonball. Obviously, Voltorb would be one of the cannonballs itself. Maybe it gets steel type, maybe it's rock type. What are cannonballs made of? I think they're just pure steel. So a pure steel Voltorb variant for the Hisui region. And I think this technology also lines up with the era that it was in. They're primitive weapons that used gunpowder. Not primitive like they're 1,000 years old, but I'm thinking of the muskets that were used during the American Revolution era. This makes sense. It would maintain its metallic look. I still want an apricorn-based Voltorb. I think that makes the most sense in lore, but this would also suffice. I don't think it's that ridiculous. Cannonballs are thrown a far distance, as are Pokeballs. You know, also cannonballs explode. Voltorb is notorious for exploding. That's its whole thing. Moving on to Magnemite now, this is a really cool design. I mean, I'm just happy if Magnemite gets some love. Magnemite with angel wings. This is kind of weird. Easy to imagine that Magnemite loses its magnets and instead gets a pair of wings. But what would those wings be? And it's a metal ball. So what is it, electric flying type? Is it electric fairy? Oh, what if it's based on gravity? What if Magnemite is now, I mean, it kind of already is based on gravity. You guys are gonna have to help me with this one. I like Magnemite a lot, but I'm kind of at a loss for words with these two images right here. The Alakazam, I already mentioned, the Alakazam with the two katanas, that is kick ass. That is so cool. A little over the top, feels almost like fan service. I'm imagining, so they're not gonna be just basic katanas. They're probably gonna be like stones that it picks up. The concept is really cool. An Alakazam with two katanas. Because it's psychic type, I'm thinking of the Jedi, right? And they have their laser swords. Man, if Alakazam in any way resembles Liam Neeson or like Obi-Wan Kenobi, this is gonna turn into a Star Wars channel. And now we have the three Lycanroc forms, and they're all pointing towards this wolf, coyote, or bear skull right here. This is very clearly telling me that these three Pokemon will have new forms, Dawn, Dusk, and Midday. These three Pokemon are gonna get a new redesign, maybe the Ghost type, maybe the Dark type. Right now, they stand as just Rock type, but if they were to get new designs that resembled a type of wolf that existed back in the day, I mean, these Pokemon are already Rock type. Fossils historically were always represented with the Rock type to indicate a fossil. And if these Pokemon are based on extinct canines, give them the Ghost type, maybe a Dark type, or maybe there's a spin there and it gets like a random fire or electric type. But they're dogs. Dogs evolve over time. To see these turn from coyote to wolf would be way cool. So someone posted this online. They depict all these different regional forms for existing Pokemon, from Spiro to Wailmer, all the way up to Chatot even getting a new form. I just wanted to go through this briefly. I thought these were really cool designs that I haven't seen anywhere else, and I haven't been able to trace this image back to anyone's Instagram page. So I thought I'd give this person a platform. So Butterfree, right off the bat, is looking like it's designed as it's a Hisuian Butterfree, but it looks like a monarch butterfly. And that's something that we've been seeing in a lot of Generation 9 Canada region rumors. And if that Pokemon was actually just like a Butterfree, all the more power to you. Butterfree is amazing. The reason why I like monarch butterflies is that in school, in the first grade, they would set us up with these monarch caterpillars, and then we would watch them every single day, eat their food. We'd learn about them. They would, turn into a chrysalis. They would make their nest. They'd make the transformation. The whole time we're like writing papers or whatever you do when you're in first grade. And then eventually they, in the spring, they would turn into monarch butterflies and they would fly away. It's a nice memory. Moving on to Spiro. This is the coolest thing. Spiro's looking like a blue jay. I don't like Spiro. It's one of those most boring Pokemon, but Spiro gets this blue jay looking new form and it evolves into a blue crane. or a herring maybe. It still has Spiro's long legs and long beak. This thing's looking grumpy, but it's a really cool design. Next, we've got a regional Meowth form, and it evolves into this like cougar looking thing. I don't know what type this Meowth is, maybe ground type. A lot of people informed me that there was this pattern going on where the next regional Meowth is likely to be fighting type. That'd be really cool. Then we get the Sentret line. Sentret evolves into this other Pokemon that looks also like Sentret. It's not a Furret. This would definitely be just a variant evolution. Sentret is like, I think it's classified as the scout Pokemon. It looks like army green to me. Now we've got a redesign of Natu, Xatu, and then this new form, which kind of looks like Xatu, to be, if I'm being honest with you. I think Natu and Xatu look much better than their standard, but this new evolution is kind of cool. It's got this headpiece. It looks like there's like 2 sets of wings, which is kind of nice. Reminds me of Sigilif a little bit. Then we've got these really sad looking Slugma and Magcargo. It still has this like volcano. Maybe these are poison type. I'll be honest, I don't like the design very much. Maybe they're designed after mud. This next one's really cool. We've got Electrike and Magnetric. They just get the type swap of a fire type. No more electric, they get fire. I think it looks really good on them. Magnetric looks fierce. The flame design on it looks very similar to Magmar from Generation 1, but I love this design. It does not look as stiff as Magnetric and Mega Magnetric typically look. Then we've got Rosalia, one of my favorite Pokemon. I can't quite tell what it's made up of. Definitely new flowers, no longer roses. You know, there's so many different flowers with unique effects and looks, cultural significance. To see a new Rosalia, I just think we need to see a new Rosalia. I would love to see a geranium, a lily, Alstroemeria. Take any cool flower and make it a new form for Rosalia. The potential is there. This one made me laugh a little bit. We got a new form of Wailmer and Wailord. It doesn't look like Wailord, but these are based on the killer whales. It's an iconic animal, which I think technically is a dolphin. Wailmer, instead of having, I think what is called baleen, it has these sharp, jagged teeth because it eats things. It's a killer whale. I could see a fighting or a dark type or an ice type addition for this Pokemon, still dual water type. We've got a winter version of Numel and an evolution that's definitely not camera up. But these two camel Pokemon, instead of being in the sand, are now ice type, which is really cool. They're covered in snow. They trot along. I would love to see this type of Pokemon in a colder region. I mean, imagine going up to Snow Point City and you find one of these Pokemon. I would capture it, definitely. And I think this Pokemon would fit well to be some sort of game mechanic like in Generation 6 when you ride the Mamoswine. Rosalia gets an evolution right here. Chatot is another Pokemon that gets a form here. This thing looks mean. I mean, for such a goofy looking Pokemon, it really does look mean. I'm curious what kind of bird they based it off of. Maybe Dark Flying. The more I look at it, it looks like a Murkrow. You know what? It's got these white markings on its legs similar to a Talonflame. This thing is probably based on a hawk, some sort of bird of prey. The more I look at it, it kind of has like the legs of a human being. Okay, last but not least, we've got a Garbador that's made up of potting soil. Its left arm that's typically comprised of a piece of wire that was trashed. It's actually a worm, which is hilarious. And then its right arm is holding up a shattered terracotta pot. This thing would definitely be my mascot. In another world, this thing does exist at any point. This is my new mascot. You're gonna call me Dusty Garbador. There's like a lot of thought that was put into this design. It's not just potting soil, it's compost. On its belly, it's got these green patterns suggesting bacteria and other pieces of matter that are decomposing. But while on top of its head, right above its goofy little face and resembling ears, are 2 plant sprouts. I'm wondering what plant is growing within this Pokemon. Guys, I told you it's getting dark. Today is the anniversary of my fiance and I, the day we got engaged. So I'm gonna go make some breaded chicken. There will be vegetables involved. Let me know what you think about these unconfirmed rumors and also some of the Pokemon that we reviewed. Do you believe the Chinese Riddler? I'm very happy with the Hisuian Pokemon we've gotten so far. If we get more, I'm gonna be a happy camper. 1 more month till BDSP and then full blast Pokemon Legends Arceus. I'm really excited. Thank you guys so much for watching and good luck hunting.